Hello and welcome to the Front Office Podcast. I'm your host, Marcus Cameron. And as always, our show is brought to you by Tees and Trees Clothing. Tees and Trees is where we stand on business. Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, whatever time you're checking into the show. We definitely appreciate the check-in. I can't talk today. We definitely appreciate the check-in, man. If you are not a subscriber, please make sure that you subscribe, follow, share, like if you agree with whatever I'm saying, comment if you don't. You know the rules, man. Quick episode. We had the NBA Cup last night. We're gonna talk about that a little bit. We had some Dillon Brooks and LeBron James drama. We definitely gonna talk about that. And we got the Thursday night game, which is a pretty big game. We got Seattle and the Rams. I think the game's in Seattle, so we will kind of go over that a little bit. Try to make it about a 10 to 12 minute episode. Try to keep it kind of short. But just like I said, as always, I'm gonna try to start the show off with just some very, just real life type shit, no sports. I'm sitting here in my garage, man, and the movie Empire comes on. And I don't know if y'all saw this or not. It's got John Leguizamo, Tretch is in it, Fat Joe's in it. Some pretty big actors. Decent storyline. At my age now, the tender age of 45 years old, this might be the worst gangster movie I've ever seen. Like, Blue Hill Avenue is definitely better than this movie. Shotters is definitely better than this movie. And it's not because of the acting. It's just, it's not a bad storyline. It's really not. It's not a bad storyline. But it is a little, how I want to say it, fabricated. It is a little fabricated. There's a scene at the very beginning where they're supposedly beefing with this rival crew because they're moving in on their turf. And Tretch comes in and he tells them about it, and they all getting ready, geared up. They put their jackets on, and then they grab their guns from their old ladies. Yeah. It's pretty bad, man. Pretty bad, man. But shout out to them, man. You know what I mean? The movie's still being played today. It's got to be over 15 years old, man. But let's get to the show, man. We're going to start off with the NBA Cup review. The NBA Cup happened Tuesday night. Today is Thursday morning, December 18th. As you can see behind me, it's 12:27 a.m. I'm up late just for y'all, so you know I rock with y'all. But the NBA Cup was played on Tuesday night between the Spurs and the Knicks. I picked the Knicks. Carlos, Chewy, whoever is a Knicks fan, Kenneth Pompey, y'all know who y'all are, man. I did pick the Knicks, but I didn't get an episode out. I picked both of them to advance to the finals. And I thought it was a pretty good game. Again, I think people are miserable and they just want to complain about shit. All I hear now is, oh, it's a regular season tournament and blah, 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 and all this other shit, man. It was a very entertaining game. The Knicks were pretty much down the entire game. Came out, made a quick run in the fourth quarter, never looked back. Brunson was great. I forget the kid that comes off the bench, wears 13, man. I want to call him Steve Novak, but I know it's not Steve Novak. OG was huge. Mitchell Robinson, definite unsung hero in that game. He did a great job on Wemby. And I thought the Spurs played well. They just couldn't hold on at the end. They're a young team. I thought their coach made a little bit of a mistake. I think the first 5, maybe 6 minutes of the fourth quarter. De'Aaron Fox, I didn't see him in the game. And I thought that, you needed that veteran presence out there. Steven Castle is amazing. I told you, he's one of my favorite players. Vassell had a great game. I thought Barnes played well. But you need that guy. You need De'Aaron Fox out there running the show. And having another option as far as being able to be a ball handler. He's a good defender. He can shoot the three. He was hot. I think he was 4 for 5 from the 3-point line. And I thought that, the Spurs coach just made a little bit of a mistake. Wemby was still on the minutes restriction, so that limited him a little bit. But, shout out to the Knicks. That was a great win by them. I think Mike Brown has found something. He sat Mikal Bridges down pretty much the whole fourth quarter. And I didn't see Mikal Bridges bitching and pouting about it. And I think that says a lot to the players that are buying in. There was other players that contributed. Jordan Clarkson had a good game. They played a cat. I'm gonna tell you, my thing with Cat, man, is I don't know if it's because he's tall or if it's he's uncoordinated, but he just does some of the goofiest shit sometimes, and it just pisses me off. Like, what the fuck are you doing, bro? Or do you not see yourself? Do you not feel yourself doing some of this goofy shit? He makes at least 5 of those plays a night, every night. But Cat's a damn good player. He's definitely an all-star. He's a difference maker, and I thought when he came back in the game, he did make a difference. He didn't score because I definitely had him on prize picks to go over a certain amount, and he didn't hit that number, but he did contribute. I think he would be a lot better if Cat would just mix in his game. It just feels like all he wants to do is shoot 3-pointers, and when those are going, then you're going down and rebounding. And it should be the opposite. If those 3-pointers aren't falling, bro, you should be hitting those boards hard. You should be trying to get the ball at the elbow and make a move and force your way to the paint and force the refs to call a foul. But again, that's me nitpicking. That's just the basketball mind in me, just kind of nitpicking and seeing what I don't like. I do like what I saw from the Knicks. I thought they showed real resilience by continuing to play. They were, like I said, they were down the entire game, and then to make that comeback, I thought that was big for the Knicks. I think that'll do well for them if they can stay healthy. Josh Hart looks like he's getting healthy. They still don't have the little short guy, number 2. I'm sorry, man. Listen, this is a very loose podcast as far as I'm not going to stat kill you to death. Y'all know who I'm talking about. Deuce Robinson or whatever his name is, the one who shoot all the threes. He's not healthy, but Clarkson stepped in. They had other guys to step in. That's a pretty deep team over there that New York has. I think they got a really good chance to get back to the Eastern Conference Finals and maybe even make it to the finals after that win, man. So shout out to the Knicks. Let's move on to the drama between Dillon Brooks and LeBron James. I couldn't wait for this one. Dillon Brooks and LeBron James had a bit of a back and forth when they played in their game the other night. I think it was Sunday, maybe Monday. Might have been Saturday. But it definitely wasn't Tuesday because the only game that was on was the Cup night. But apparently Dillon Brooks does what Dillon Brooks does. He came into the game with agitation on his mind for LeBron James. This has been going on for years now. It happened when he was in Memphis with the Lakers. LeBron promptly dropped 40 on him. Dillon had a good game against Bron. He made sure he let everybody know, I ain't scared of bears. He's old. I poke bears. So basically, Dillon Brooks gets into it with him, and Bron fouled him for sure on that 3-pointer. Definitely fouled him. And you got up under his skin enough to where LeBron was grabbing at the referee, which, by the letter of the law, man, he should have threw him out. But here's the thing with the letter of the law, okay? The letter of the law does not apply to the face of the NBA or anybody close to being to the face of the NBA, okay? Michael Jordan has said shit to referees and not gotten the technical. Kobe Bryant has said shit to referees and not gotten the technical. LeBron James grabbed the referee. Letter of the law should have kicked him out of the game. But it was a good game. I applaud the refs for not being petty and kicking him out and allowing that game to play out how it was going to play out. Dillon Brooks ends up on the losing side. LeBron hits 2 free throws, put him up. Lakers win the game. All right. I thought it was a very honorable showing by Dillon Brooks. I do. And I'm a LeBron fan. I'm a big LeBron fan. But I thought Brooks went out there and played well. Okay. He played against one of the best of all time. He's going at his neck out there. You made the play at the end. Everybody can see that LeBron fouled him. And then after you lose, after all that shit you was talking on the court, you run out and don't talk to the media. I got a problem with that, man. I got a big problem with you not talking to media after a loss. I get it. Emotions running high. You don't want to talk to the media. You lost. But you shouldn't want to have a goddamn 15, 30-minute session with them when y'all ain't playing 3 days later. See, that's the sucker shit for me. I'm not saying he's the sucker, but that's the sucker shit for me. If you're not going to talk to the media after you lost, I don't want to hear shit about it 3 days later. Because who the fuck cares? You've already showed your hand. And you're showing that it's all about LeBron James. Now, LeBron, being savvy, 23 years in the league, after the game, didn't dish you, didn't say anything negative about you, just said, hey, there's 2 guys competing. We're competing the whole game out there and, may the best man win. That's what he said. Those were his quotes. Didn't go on Twitter and say no funny shit, none of that shit. But here you are, can't even face the music. You did the same thing when you were in Memphis and y'all lost in the playoffs and he dropped 40 on you and you didn't have anything to say. See, that's the type of shit I don't respect. That's the type of shit that's going to make people look at you and be like, this shit is a show and you want attention. And I really, truly, and honestly think Dillon Brooks has made a huge improvement in this game this year. He's got that Suns team winning. They're missing one of their best players in Jalen Green, and they're still competitive. Book has been in and out of the lineup. They probably had 5, 6 different starting lineups all year, and they're consistent. He has a chance to actually make the All-Star team. I don't think he will, but he has a chance. And for you to do that, it's a sucker move, man. I can't really respect it, man. But, shout out to Dillon Brooks. Shout out to the Lakers, who are still winning games. For everybody who thought that, it's a LeBron and Luka issue, whatever. Luka addressed the media and said they actually talk more. That Laker team is still missing a lot, though. They still need a perimeter defender or two, dare I say. Because when you go up against teams like the Spurs, OKC, with those young guards, and they got a bunch of them, it's going to be a problem. It's going to be a problem, man. But let's switch gears. We're going to talk about this Thursday night game that's coming on tonight by the time you air this episode, between the Rams and the Seattle Seahawks. I almost forgot their name just now. The Rams and the Seahawks will play Thursday night, and this game has a lot of implications. It's a lot on the line. They're in the same division, I believe. If I'm not mistaken, I should have did my research, but I didn't. I believe the Rams can lock up the division with a win. I think Seattle makes things very, very interesting if they win. Both of them, I think, are top 3 in the NFC as far as seeding is concerned right now. So it should be a good game. I mean, as far as my picks are concerned, I'm going to be honest with you. It's in Seattle. The Rams are down Devontae Adams. I believe Puka is playing, Puka Nacua. I got Stafford. I'm playing in the championship fantasy league at my old job. I already lost in the sweatshop. Shout out to the fellas at the sweatshop. I already lost in that league, but I am playing in the championship game. Shout out to DP. Stafford, I think, is going to have a good showing, but that's a real Seattle defense over there. That's a real Seattle defense, and they are really clicking with Sam Darnold on offense. Jackson and Enigma Smith, JSM. Listen, he's a monster. He's probably going to break Calvin Johnson's record, but I'm going to take the Seahawks. I think the Seahawks have everything it takes to win a Super Bowl. It's really going to fall on the shoulders of Sam Darnold. I'm not saying it's only because of him, but I do think he's a major piece to that. Their running game is so he has to be able to get rid of the ball, make good decisions, not turn the ball over, and beat pressure. He was in Minnesota last year, my team, and I'll be honest with you, when you put a little pressure on him, it's not the same quarterback. And so that offensive line is going to have to hold up. And that's a very good Rams defense he's going against. So it should be a really good game. I do like Seattle to win, probably by a field goal at the end, just because of the 12th man playing in Seattle. It's probably going to be cold, probably a little rainy. I like Seattle. The Rams are a little undermanned. So I'm going to take Seattle in that one. And I will probably drop another episode by Sunday. The new job is kicking my ass, man. I love it. It's great, but it's a lot. It's a lot, and I am definitely getting my boots smoked at that job every day. When I come home, all I want to do is lay down and just relax. So this is a very rarity, and I'm going to try to keep this rarity going. Make sure, again, man, you like, subscribe, share, follow, like if you agree, comment if you disagree. I'm your host, Marcus Cameron. This is the Front Office Podcast. Tees and Trees in the Clothing Line. Peace.